Hey, Amy Ramsey here, your business doula, and I am talking copywriting today. And specifically, I'm going to tackle the number one thing I hear people say, and that is, I don't know what to write. So if you are that person who has been staring at the blank page or hasn't updated your blog in over a month, today we are going to fix that for you. And I've got 3 different ways to help you create some awesome content for your website and to really help you help your audience and help work on your copywriting muscle. So the first way I like to tell clients to help generate content for their blog, number 1 is look at the products or packages that you're selling, and then you reverse engineer the content from there. So for instance, if you are a coach and you're selling a coaching package, look at the different things that you help your clients with throughout that coaching program, and then look at, what are those topics and what are those things that you could really write about in further detail, which would not only help get a blog out there, it would also help your audience, with something that they're struggling with. Plus, it also really gives them a chance to see a little bit more in depth about what it would be like to work with you. So that's number 1, looking at what it is you're selling, or maybe if you have a launch coming up, and then you reverse engineer content from there. The second way that's super easy to get words onto that page is you simply ask your audience, what is it that you're struggling with? And sometimes they're actually telling us, but we're not listening. So I would also say with this one, it's also a matter of really listening to the feedback that you're getting. And then, if you're not getting any feedback, if it's pretty rare that you hear from any of the people in your audience, why don't you go ahead and email them and ask them, hey, what is your biggest struggle right now? And if it's a topic that you can speak to and write something about that would really help them out, then do that. And then not only are you connecting with your audience, but you also know that the content you're delivering is totally on point. And then my third way happens to be my favorite way to come up with content. And this is something that my clients tell me that I am a pro at. So, and there's 2 different ways that I teach clients how to do this. So my favorite way to create content for your blog and your business is to take things that are happening in your daily life and figure out how they relate to your business and then share that. So a lot of my clients will tell me, Amy, I'm not good at that. You're so good at that. Well, here's the thing. It's a muscle like everything, and you just have to train yourself. So I do this all day, every day. Like, I am constantly thinking about how these different things that show up in my life, how they apply to business, and what are the lessons that I'm learning that I can share with you that I know will really make an impact for both you and your business. So for instance, if I go for a run, and right now I'm training for a half marathon, so, I notice all the mental chatter that's going on in my head, and a lot of that mental chatter is the same kind of chatter that may come up when I'm working on a new business project, or, I'm dealing with uncertainty. So that's something I can talk about, my training and my runs, and then relate it to business. Same goes for, I'm single right now, so I'm dating a lot, and you would not believe how similar, like, different things that come up in dating are to business. Like, it's gotten to the point where it's a ton of fun for me right now to see all of these different things that come up in dating and how I can apply them to business. And you will be getting some more blogs on that in the very near future. So if you're wondering, like, Amy, I'm not good at this, and how can I learn how to take these things in my daily life and apply them to my business and then create content for my audience? There's 2 different ways. One is really training yourself that any time throughout your day that either something funny happens, something really serious happens, so you're either laughing uncontrollably or you're saying to yourself like, oh shit, or maybe you have that light bulb moment where you go, you know, OMG, okay? These are the moments where you've got to train yourself to stop and think, does this relate to my business? And does this relate to my audience and something they're struggling with at all? And then, of course, if it does, you need to write it down. You need to take a note. You need to do a voice memo, you know, whatever that looks like for you, whatever your system is, so that you don't forget it. Because that's also a big key in the in your systems and structures here, is not forgetting these things. But that's just training yourself that when you have those moments to go, oh, how does this relate to business? And if it does, and if it makes sense for you, then you've got a great blog topic. So the second way that you can really learn how to do this, because it does take training, is instead of doing it in those moments, if you find that you're really not able to do that, you can start by taking 10 minutes at the end of your day, and I really suggest the end of your work day versus the end of your day, because like, you know, 5, 6, 7 o'clock can look a lot, you know, that looks a lot different than if you're trying to do this at 10 or 11 o'clock at night and you're exhausted and you're wondering if you can even brush your teeth to get to bed that night, okay? So really, at the end of your work day, set aside 10 minutes and then go through your day. Think about all of the different things that happened in your day. Think about those moments that were funny or serious, or that you really had a moment and you thought like, wow, I get it, or something totally clicked for you. Think about those moments in your day, and if there's anything that happened that makes sense for your business, and again, for your audience, because this really is about creating content that is helpful for your audience. Go ahead, write it down using the same system, whether that be a text to yourself, an email, if you carry a little notebook with you, or maybe you do a voice message to yourself. Write it down, and then in time, you'll learn to do this throughout the day. You'll learn to put it into practice in your life, and it will become much, much easier. But that is my favorite way for creating content, because I do think it is the most personal when you can say, hey, you know, this happened to me today, and here is the lesson I learned, which I know will also serve you. So those are 3 different ways you can start to get words onto that page and get those blogs written so that people can hear your expertise and they can hear what you have to say, and you can make a bigger difference. So let me know how that works for you, and just remember that copywriting really is a practice, and it's all about building that muscle and just putting these different things into practice. And the more you do it, I promise you, the easier it will be and the better you will get at it. All right, I hope this was helpful, and you have a great day and you have a great, great time writing.